Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. There we go. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our minds and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Good morning and welcome, UUCC, on June 1st, the first day of June. I'm David, your lay leader, and I'm happy to see everyone here, whether in the sanctuary or joining us on Zoom or YouTube. We live in troubling times. I mean, we're in trouble. And that's been addressed so eloquently and forcefully by our minister, Reverend G. But on the other hand, there's joy. We talk about that all the time, joys and concerns. We don't have joys and concerns today, but we need it. You know, we're born for it. We're made for it. So joy for me is constantly through music, whether I'm performing it or listening to it. And it's a close ally, which I don't delve into as much, poetry. But there were a couple of poems that I encountered recently that kind of aroused a spark of joy in my breast. So I brought those this morning to share with you. The first one is by E. Cummings. You may be familiar with that name. In his day, he was probably as famous and well-known as Robert Frost or T.S. Eliot, people like that. And an interesting thing about him, which I didn't know, is that his father, Edward Cummings, was a Unitarian minister. He started out as a professor at Harvard in sociology, and then he was called to the pulpit of the South Congregational Church in Boston. Don't be fooled by the name. It's a Unitarian church, and he was there until he died at age 65. So this is how this poem goes. And keep in mind that E. Cummings loved wordplay, so he did some really strange things sometimes with word order, syntax, or whatever you want to call it, and the way a poem looked on the page. So here goes. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and wings, and of the gay, great happening illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing any, lifted from the no of all nothing, human merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened. A lovely attempt to express the inexpressible, I think. The second one is a contemporary poet named Reginald Dwayne Betts. And let me read you this very brief bio on Wiki about him. He's an American poet, legal scholar, educator, and prison reform advocate. At age 16, he committed an armed carjacking, was prosecuted as an adult, and was sentenced to 9 years in prison. He started reading and writing poetry during his incarceration. After his release, Betts earned an MFA in creative writing from Warren Wilson College and a Juris Doctor degree from Yale Law School. He served on President Barack Obama's Coordinating Council of the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. He founded Freedom Reads, an organization that gives incarcerated people access to books. In September 2021, Betts was awarded a MacArthur Fellowship. Something you may have heard of as the MacArthur Genius Grant, which I read at its last offering was $800,000, no strings attached. So this poem is called simply On Joy. It comes from a book called Doggerel, which has kind of a pejorative connotation to it. Just think of it as bad poetry. No, the book has many poems in it that are about dogs or have dogs in them. So one of the names that he mentions in the poem is the name of his dog. And it's for Debbie, that's his wife. You ask me how I'm doing, and I realize there are not enough words for joy in this language. Not like in German, where a man can whisper a phrase for relief that roughly translates to, "It felt like a stone falling from my heart." The gods must not know the things I've wanted in this world. In prison, a letter is called a kite, as if words alone can gift a man wings. And I want to tell you that my body is a kite swept into the wind, to say some days my heart is the wildest, hungriest things I know. Whatever about choices, follow me now. The erratic thing that knocks against my ribcage says, and I have everywhere, off cliffs in cities whose names I cannot pronounce, back into prisons, to walking Alec in a park with Debbie, to my son's basketball games, to weeping and to down on my knees, to something I've never actually called joy, but just might be, that remembering of all the things I believe needed letting go, only to learn the raft on which I ride into my todays was built with them. Thank you for listening to those. So on to the business of the day. If you're in the sanctuary, be aware that the service is recorded for YouTube. Tables at the back are available if you prefer to avoid appearing on camera. Please refrain from talking during the recording to avoid unintentional broadcasting, and silence your cell phones, please. Visitors can explore literature about our UU faith in the entrance and community room. You can also join us for social time after the service in person and on Zoom. Discover more about our church programs for children and youth and weekly opportunities to connect with us on our website, uucommunitychurch.org. Located on Shaver Road in Portage, Michigan, our church on ancestral lands of the Peoria and Potawatomi people proudly displays a rainbow flag and Black Lives Matter sign, symbolizing our inclusive community dedicated to creating a just and sustainable world. We are a community on diverse spiritual journeys, and we enjoy hearing differing points of view from our minister G. Ludwig McCartney, guest ministers, lay leaders, and guest speakers. And we are happy to hear again from Reverend G today. Thanks to everyone contributing to this morning's service, our greeters, musician, tech team, coffee hosts, and each of you. Your presence and contributions are truly appreciated. Announcements. During the month of June, we are holding a special collection to benefit the Michigan UU Social Justice Network and their mission of connecting and empowering Michigan UU faith communities to create a more just and caring world. To give, put a check made out to UUCC with Generosity Sunday in the collection basket or mail it to our building. You can also give online by visiting our website or using the Vanco app on a smartphone or tablet. Our annual meeting will take place today at 11:15 a.m. here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Please plan to attend. Childcare will be available in the RE area. There are a few copies of the agenda, budget, and annual reports at the welcome table for those who are not able to access them electronically. Are you planning to come and represent UUCC at the Portage Pride Picnic on June 8th from 12:30 to 3 p.m. at Portage United Church of Christ on Millam? It is not a competition, of course, but compared to some other denominations, Unitarian Universalists have a very long history of celebrating Pride. We have vocally supported full equality for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and queer people since 1970. We ordained our first openly gay minister in 1979 and our first transgender minister in 1988. We have a good reputation for human rights, which all UU should work to preserve. You can help us do that by attending the Portage Pride Picnic next Sunday to show the wider community that Unitarian Universalists can be counted on to show up to support LGBTQIA equity, inclusion, and joy. Today, Unitarian Universalists continue to light the chalice. As truth seekers, we pursue a resilient truth that withstands questioning and doubts. The flame serves as a constant reminder of our shared values, bringing them to life in our community. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Reverend G will conduct a meditation.
Good morning. Welcome. I invite you to find a comfortable position in your seat. Close your eyes if it is yours to do that, and take a deep breath. And as you exhale, relax. Take another deep breath. And as you exhale, relax even more. One more deep breath. And as you exhale, relax completely. And just let go. Allow yourself to just be without agenda. Without expectations. Thoughts, no thoughts, all the same. And as you breathe in, notice. Notice all that is happening inside you. Is your body relaxed? Or are you holding on to tension? Just notice and let go. Release tension. Release expectations. Allow yourself to just be. And just focus on your breath. If it's easier to focus on your breath through your nostrils, concentrate there. If it's easier to do it through your solar plexus, concentrate there. Breathe in, breathe out. If you have thoughts coming to the forefront of your consciousness, notice them. Thank them for sharing their life with you. And allow them to return to where they came from. And in this moment, just be without expectation, agenda, hopes, regrets. In this moment, there's nothing but beingness. Enough of everything. Air, support for your body, No need for more of anything. From the silence, peace arises. Sometimes we even get direction, wisdom. But in any case, a bit of respite from the busy mind. For all that's troubling us, that's driving us. And we are grateful that at any moment in time, we can choose to go within. So we don't go without. And for that, together we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes and return your attention to this here and now.
All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through twists and turns, unexpected, day by day moving on. I don't have all the answers, come what may, right or wrong. All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. Crashing waves touch the shore. Time moves faster every day. Ebb and flow, no control. All left to say. All we can do is be there for each other these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. And help each other through.
Hi. I looked a little surprised. I, for some reason, thought this was happening during the annual meeting. Each year, we spend some time in June. We recognize that I don't think there's a single person that's in this room or that comes into this space that doesn't contribute in some way, shape, or form to this community just by their presence, but also their deeds. So all of us need to congratulate each other and lean on each other and express thanks to each other for making the community that is UUCC. But that said, we also like to recognize some people who really have stepped up, and these are often recognitions not just for the past year, but for many cases, years and even decades of contribution to the mission of the church and to its operations as well. So we have 5 people that we're going to be recognizing this morning. So first on our list, you shouldn't have walked all the way down there, David, as David Senecal. David's been a member of the church, how many years now? What'd you say? It's only been but you've been a part of the church for a number of years. 4 years, I'd say, a little post-COVID, or during COVID. And during that time, he's just sort of quietly kind of assumed a number of roles here. He's been on Sunday services. As you can see today, he's our frequent lay leader, also a guest speaker, and we get to experience his beautiful voice as a member of the choir. Among other things, he does welcoming and various activities. So, David, I'm going to bring this down to you, okay? Okay. Give a big round of applause to David. And while we're in that general vicinity, Lisa Wagner's been a visitor and part of our church, is coming with David. She's always, the great thing about Lisa, she's always here when David comes, which means he's here a lot of the time well before 10 o'clock as part of choir rehearsal or welcoming or various activities that he's doing. Lisa's really part of our community and has stepped in to help out with a number of things. She's a member of the coffee crew, so when you have a cup of coffee, raise a glass to her, and a member of the Open Doors community meal. So, Lisa. This is a relatively new member of our church, so you might not know her very well. Her name is Stephanie Grathwell. For the new people, Stephanie's been here a long time. So, and Stephanie's probably, this is not the first nor the last volunteer recognition that she's received over the years. Stephanie's held a whole range of activities and roles in the church. I mean, I'm trying to read them off now, and I should probably get my glasses here. I thought I caught most of them, and then Miriam corrected me and said, added about 7 or 8 more things. Book group chair, recycling team. She returns the bottles for our religious education. Part of caring community. You probably have received phone calls from her at times. Transportation ministry, a lay leader, and on the greeting team. So thank you very much, Stephanie. And also, I mean, related to that, parking lot control and monitor. So, oops, sorry about that. It's always a bit tricky because the board has to get together every year and find folks. We don't have trouble finding people. We often have trouble kind of narrowing down our list in terms of coming up with recognition for volunteers here because there's so much done by so many people. It can get a little tricky at times because sometimes the folks that we want to recognize are actually sitting in the room when these decisions get made. So then there's a little bit of subterfuge and back behind the scenes kind of stuff going on, try and make things happen. So we have 2 recognitions of actual people who are currently on the board. Catherine Reagans. She's been a board member. She leads program council. She helps with she leads part of the renewal retreat, decorates the church, things that you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. She's both out front and behind the scenes in activities, and she's always kind of wins the prize as the best dressed member of the UUCC. So look at this as a double win. So Catherine, she's the one with the hat. Our final recipient doesn't look like he's here today. He's probably down in the basement working on the furnace. I don't know. Eric Nelson, for those of you that don't know, who's generally down working on the furnace. Eric's, as you all know, Eric is he's both out front and behind the scenes and all in between. So he served on the Board of Trustees for the last 4 years. 2 years as president. 1 year as vice president. He took it as a member at large this year. He said he refused to do another executive job, and I don't blame him. So he's been our fearless overseer of building and grounds since I've been coming here, which has been more than 10 years. We see him a lot on Sundays as leading meditation, which is really such a kind way to contribute to our community, but also a lot of things outside of the church, within the church community, running meditation groups, retreats, all of those things. He's also involved in Open Doors Community Meal, Growth Team, Sustainability Group, Composting Crew, our e-leader. He's even downstairs. So while he's fixing the furnace, he goes out and looks after the kids. He's also a good friend of mine. And I see all of these things, and I'm in awe of the contributions that he makes. So while Eric's not in the room right now, make sure he gets this. Thank you. Thanks for the time and a big round of applause to not just the people recognized today, but yourselves and everybody in part of UUCC for everything they do. This is a great time of year to be celebrating our
Oh, it's good to celebrate, isn't it? It feels just good, opens the heart, does good to the soul. Welcome. I'm Reverend G. Delighted to have you here in the room and over there on the holy interwebs. I'm glad that you're choosing to spend this time with us. If you are anything like me, by now you have spent quite a bit of time pondering on the meaning of life. Why are we here? How should we live? There was a theologian, no, it was Nietzsche who said that those who know the why can weather any how. Those who know why they're here can weather anything that life throws at them. So I assume that you probably have pondered that too, and if you haven't, I'm guessing you will after today. There's a good possibility. David Brooks speaks of 2 mountains, and that this culture of ours really idolizes the first mountain, and that is your resume, your achievements, size of your bank account, your stature in society, And that's the first mountain that we climb. How well are you? First is, of course, you got to do really well in school, then you have to achieve. It's all about achievements, about reaching milestones. And then you reach the summit, and you realize it's underwhelming. You realize that while you have invested yourself, you have applied yourself, you've given it all you have to climb and climb and climb, and you've clawed yourself there. There's an emptiness, there's a void that meets you there. And that is a front row display right now in the government. I mean, look at the richest man in the world, if he's not also the unhappiest man in the world, who apparently, supposedly, uses ketamine to just get him through the day, and causes all kinds of havoc in the world just to help him feel something. Maybe power, maybe make it feel like that climb was worth it. One of the biggest crises that I lived through in my life to this point, I don't know what's coming, but to this point is many, many years ago. I had already had my master's in divinity and my master's in ministry. And when you have those degrees, you're climbing. And you have those degrees. And people meet with you, they tend to treat you a certain way because this is our culture. We also respect those degrees. So like we acknowledge, oh, you're climbing, you're doing well. So they put upon you a certain respect you may not deserve. It's attached to the degree. It's attached to the elevation that you have reached on this mountain. Well, life happened, and I couldn't be in ministry, nor could I do the counseling, and people treated me accordingly. I no longer got the respect. I no longer got the reverence that I was reverend, It's in our name. It's not like we deserve it. It comes with it's in our title that we're reverend, It's on us, like you walk on a dusty street and the dust gets on your shoes. But it's not because you are worthy of it. So I no longer got any of the... I just was viewed so differently. And I very quickly descended from the summit into the valley of the shadow of death. And I remember the depression. And I remember I didn't know my why. And because I didn't know my why, this how, I couldn't meet it. I couldn't meet it with dignity, with purpose, with peace, I was so rattled. I was in such a crisis. And it took me quite a bit of time to realize that I am not what I do. I am not my achievements. I am not those letters after my name, MD, M, whatever. I'm none of that. I am also not who you see me to be. So I figured out in that valley, that's what I needed to work on. And as I was figuring it out, I started ascending on the second mountain. And the second mountain is different. The second mountain is about connection. The second mountain is about groundedness. The second mountain is about getting in touch with one's own true identity, self-worth, the love that we are. And then once that love becomes the center of our awareness, there is another thing that emerges on the second mountain. The understanding that not that we're not alone, but also that we don't want to be alone. And that this love needs an outlet. So service becomes part of life. And it's not because it's expected. It's not because, again, it looks good on the resume that I volunteered here and I did that. But because it's aligned with that grounded, love-filled center of being. And it shows up in ways small and it shows up in ways big. Sometimes it looks like chicken soup delivered to somebody who's battling a cold or some sort of sorrow. Sometimes it's a ride given to someone. Sometimes it's just sitting down and just listening, allowing another one to just be and unload the heaviness that they're carrying. And sometimes it's big. Sometimes, and us being UUs, we've done it all. We've done the small and we've done the big. When we are out there fighting for whatever is left of our democracy, fighting to reclaim that which we have already lost, and then fighting to strengthen it. It is ways big to make sure that there's equity and dignity, that the people we come in touch with, we honor them, regardless of who they are, their gender, their sexual identity, their position on that first mountain, wherever they rank themselves. Because once you're on the second mountain, you have compassion for those who are still climbing the first, who have not yet reached the summit, and they don't yet know that there's another better mountain over there, another better mountain to climb. So us Unitarian Universalists, we do it all, the small ways and the big ways. And our church certainly could not carry on without you and you and you. Your service, your showing up. And we don't show up because we are so alike, but because we covenant with each other. We covenant that this is the path that we choose to walk together. And we covenant that this is how we walk this path together, that we hold hands, that we uplift each other, that we care, and that we step in when we are needed. We understand that being part of this community asks something of us, wants something of us. And we are willingly give it because we understand the distinction. It is not a forced labor, but it is an act of love. It is an act of service to one another so we can carry on. Because, my people, I have found that all of us, the way we do one thing, it is that way we tend to do all things. The way we do one thing is how we do all things. The way we show up for the smallest is the way we show up for all of it. So here, we are called into living up to our ideals. Here we are called to constantly grow, climb that second mountain, and integrate love and service so that the way we do one thing is the way we do all things. The way we show up in one situation is how we show up everywhere. And that is living in community. That is awakening to our very nature, which is love, that manifests as service. And for your love and for your service, I thank you. And I thank you. And I thank you. And all of you out there who are watching and showing up time and again, wholeheartedly, belonging. And so it is. Oh, this.
Speaking of joy, thank you so much for this. It was really a surprise. And Lisa, I forgot to tell you this, but at the last men's breakfast, Ron Kroll said, you know, the one thing that impressed me about Lisa right off the bat, she's back there washing dishes. But she's used to service. She had a long career as a nurse. She works part-time for an adult daycare center in Paw Paw. And she cleans for several of her neighbors at her residence. So it comes easily to her. Okay, our lives are filled with many blessings. Let's come together with gratitude and love to share a part of these gifts to support our religious community. You can show your love by giving in a practical way to keep our space vibrant and share our positive message. Look at the screen for ways to give, and our ushers are here to collect your offerings. Together, we make a meaningful impact through our shared generosity. As we extinguish the chalice, let us remember to keep the flame awake and alive in our souls, and let the light of the chalice bind us together, showing us the way. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
May love be your compass, service your practice, and kindness your rebellion.